My name is Nick Zoris. I'm a catching coach based out of Phoenix, Arizona. I specialize in helping catchers decrease their pop time by cleaning up their mechanics. I got the opportunity to play Division I baseball at Illinois State University. My last year was 2019. In our 2019 year, we won a conference championship. So we won the Missouri Valley Conference, and we also made it to a Louisville regional. We ended up losing to Louisville in the championship game of that regional. Walk-off base hit, pretty much ended my career right there. After my career ended, that was pretty much it for me. I remember going back home to my college apartment, starting to pack up my room, because this was the end of my senior year, so I was done. You know, draft day is coming up. I know for a fact that I'm not gonna be picked. I know there's no chance of me being, you know, a top pick in that year's draft. I caught really solid. I think I could have continued to play on defensively. I could catch with the best. So anyway, my career ends at Louisville. Thought there was a chance that I'd get a call or get an opportunity in my senior year. I'd spoken to a couple scouts here and there. You know, I knew defensively I had what it takes to play at the next level, but realistically, I was a career 240 hitter. I was the crowd the plate, punch one to right field, move the runner over type of hitter. Definitely a good team hitter, but you know, did not have a bat that would translate to professional baseball. Got the job done at the college level, and luckily my defense got me on the field consistently. Career comes to an end. I go into the corporate world thinking, you know, I'm done with baseball, ready to hang it up, ready to kind of get into life after baseball. Pretty quickly realized that I was not cut out for that kind of lifestyle. Found myself pretty unhappy with the path that my life was on and what was ahead in the future for me now that baseball had come to an end. Luckily enough, I got out of school right around the time that COVID was happening. The whole team of guys and girls that I got hired with ended up getting a call from our boss, and you know, our boss let us know that, hey, not really sure of what the future holds. We're going to be letting you guys go. We'll have an opportunity to re-explore this position after all this COVID stuff blows over, but for right now we can't pay you guys, so you know, we're gonna send you on our way. So at that point, you know, still living at home with my parents, ultimately I had a decision to make: continue to pursue this corporate world where I found myself unhappy, or, you know, maybe take a crack at doing what I love still. You know, I wasn't able to play anymore, but maybe I could find a path in baseball to where, you know, I could still be around the game and have an impact on the game. So I started coaching at a facility. This was actually the facility that I grew up playing for. It was the facility that, you know, helped me get recruited to play college baseball, is where I spent a lot of years developing at this facility. So I go back to work for them. And this is during COVID that I go back to work for them. But while I'm there, I start working with the catchers. Obviously, you know, I'm in a facility, I have some catching knowledge, played Division I baseball. Obviously could be an asset to some high school guys that were, you know, trying to catch at a high level. So I started working with these guys, and you know, I realized that I'm pretty good at teaching the position. You know, I was not a good hitter, so I really had to, you know, be solid defensively, and I had to learn a lot of things in order to perform defensively. And because of my understanding of the position, I started to kind of excel as a coach. I thought about things catching wise that, you know, were valuable to a kid that was trying to play at the level that I was at. So obviously, like anything else, you know, the more I coached, the better I got at it, and the more I started to kind of love it, you know, make it my own. Coaching receiving, was coaching blocking, was coaching throwing. As time went on, I started to realize like the throwing stuff was the most valuable. There was a lot of good receiving info, there was a lot of good, you know, blocking info, but there wasn't a lot of good throwing information out there. And that was something that I had. I was always an above average thrower. I was always really good at getting the most out of my body when I threw, and I was able to throw really hard because of it. And I was able to pop low pop times. I was able to throw out a lot of runners due to my ability to throw. And throwing is definitely the one thing that stands out. You know, you go to a showcase, pretty much every guy there can receive well, can block well. But the guys that stand out at these events are the guys, you know, with bazookas for arms that are getting these crazy, you know, pop times. So I started kind of diving into training that. That was something that I was always good at and something that I had a lot of knowledge on. So I figured, why not, you know, start trying to teach what I had in my head and trying to make sense of, you know, these ideas and these concepts that led to lower pop times. So the more that I started to coach the throw, the more that I realized that, you know, most catchers struggle with the same things. Everything that happens before the pitch hits your glove is debatably the most important, you know, sequence of your throw. everything that you're doing before the ball hits your glove is definitely the most important because it sets up the success of your throw once that ball hits your glove. So most guys don't have the ability to create, proper momentum and a proper weight shift with their lower half. Most guys struggle in order to keep their hips on line when they're throwing. A lot of guys' hips peek out from under them, causes their arm action to be long, causes them to get disconnected from their body. So that was one of the biggest issues I saw, was guys' lower halves were not working the right way. So I started kind of diving into how to fix that. The next thing I realized is most guys struggle with the transfer portion of their throw. The reason that they struggle with the transfer part of their throw is because they haven't done enough. They haven't created the right movements before the ball hits their glove. And if you fail to make these movements, chances are your transfer is going to suffer because of it, right? You have to imagine, if you don't create direction the right way, if you don't get your momentum going before the ball hits your glove, it's going to cause you to be long with your transfer in order to buy time for your lower half to catch up. That's why a lot of times when guys come to me and they say, my footwork's slow or my arm action is long, I always have to talk to them about how, your footwork and your arm action is the result of something else. Your footwork and your arm action is a result of how well you're creating direction. Your feet can't be fast unless you've started to create momentum in order for them to work fast. Your arm action can't be short unless you've done a good job getting deep into your throwing sequence and allowed yourself to have a short arm action. A lot of times when guys have long arm actions, it's a result of them trying to give their lower half time to catch up. If they haven't created momentum with their lower half, then they're gonna have to buy time with some kind of a hitch in order to get their feet underneath them. But if you can get deeper into your throwing sequence before the ball hits your glove, now you can allow your arm path to work clean and efficient, but that's only after you've started to create a clean line with your lower half. So those are the biggest two things there: lower half, transfers. And then leading into the third thing that I've seen the most is arm actions, the way guys use their upper halves. So as you're kind of starting to understand at this point, every step of our throwing sequence is important and every step is vital for the upcoming step, right? And it all stems from our lower half. It stems from our ability to create tension with the ground and to hold that tension through our throw, to transfer that energy from our lower half up to our arm so we can deliver strong throws. So once again, it all is going to start with our base. That's why that's the most important thing that we train. But anyway, the third thing that I noticed is the arm action. A lot of guys get disconnected from their body. A lot of guys have a hitch that takes extra time. A lot of guys don't ever get to a full retraction with their upper half. They don't allow their lower half to get separated properly. So that was the third biggest thing that I saw, was how the upper half worked. But what I've found is, the better guys can do at cleaning up their lower half, the better guys can do at cleaning up their transfer. Their upper half is going to work a lot cleaner because of it, because they've given their upper half room to work and room to work the right way. And then once all of these things are put together, the fourth thing that I realized is, guys can have a good understanding of their lower half. They can have a good understanding of their transfer. They can have a good understanding of how their upper half works. But if they lack the rhythm and timing to make all these movements happen at the right time, nothing is going to work right. So the fourth thing that I saw was the rhythm and timing of the throwing sequence, and ultimately guys just looking smooth when they perform these actions. At the end of the day, in a game situation, there are always going to be variables. No pitch that you receive in the game is going to be exactly like a pitch that you may be trained. So at the end of the day, we always have to train ourselves to be athletes. We don't want to create robots out there. We want, when the lights turn on, to guys have the ability to perform, and the training is just a level of confidence that they have, knowing that they've put in the work in order to perform in a game. So the rhythm and timing of the throw is, comes into play when, guys are able to time up the release of their pitcher. They're able to time up, a runner taking off, trying to steal second. All of these timing aspects are crucial to your mechanics. Same way with hitting, right? You can have the most amazing mechanics in the world with your swing, but if your timing is just a split second off, you don't make contact with that ball. Same thing with throwing. If our mechanics are picture perfect, everything is working just the way we want them to, but the timing of these actions are not correct, the throw is not going to happen the way that we want it to. That's why we spend a lot of time training the rhythm and the timing of the throw in order to make these movements flow, in order to make them feel, like second nature, and allow everything to happen when it needs to. So outside of the throw, those are some of the things that I started to realize with the throw to second base. I realized that, I had a level of understanding of the throw that was not common and that a lot of people could benefit from. That's why I ultimately ended up, putting together a 4-week program that's specifically designed to help you clean up your mechanics. And as a result of cleaned up mechanics are decreased pop times. And at the end of the day, pop time is that flashy number. It's what all the kids kids want to show at a showcase, but we always have to remember that pop time is a result of clean mechanics. You know, my program is 4 weeks long. It follows all 4 of the topics that I laid out for you. And, you know, guys go through the program, they study their learning materials, and then they implement it in their drill work. Through, you know, this study and this implementation into the drill work, you know, most guys, when they take this program seriously and do everything the way it was designed, are seeing pretty incredible decreases in their pop time, simply as a result of, you know, cleaning up their mechanics and just learning how to throw the right way. You know, this program is very much mechanically focused, not a whole lot of stress on the arm. I always want the throwing portion of it to feel very natural and almost secondary, allowing our body to do all the work and just allowing our throw and allowing the ball to come through naturally. I don't believe in putting a lot of stress on the arm. I believe if you're using your body correctly, it's going to take a lot of that stress off of your arm. So as usual, I'm taking on guys to train with me remotely. Guys follow the program, they meet with me for one-on-one coaching, and everything is right there on an application on your phone. Probably our 4th or 5th month of doing this program, and it's been a lot of fun. I've gotten to meet a lot of cool kids through it. I've gotten to help kids, you know, realize their goals and perform at showcases. Some of these kids have even gone on to get college scholarships. So, you know, to think that maybe I played a little part in that is pretty cool. And I'm super motivated to keep doing what I do and, you know, keep helping kids like you. So as usual, you know, if the program is something you've thought about for a while, if you thought you could benefit from working with me through a program that I created, go ahead and book a call to speak with me. I'll put the link in the description of this video. So you'll fill out that application, you'll press submit, and it'll schedule a time for you and I to hop on Zoom. Call should take about, you know, 20 to 30 minutes. If you have video of your throw, please go ahead and send that over to me. You'll have my email after you register for a call, so you can email that to me, and then we'll hop on a call. We'll go through your situation and make sure that, you know, I can help you and that you'd actually benefit from going through this program. But if you and I decide that it would be a good fit for us to work together, and, you know, you have a goal in mind and you want to get there, you know, if all those things are in line and we see eye to eye on things, we can go ahead and get you started, and then you'll have all the information of how to get the most out of the program and how to do everything correctly after that. But again, if you're a catcher that wants to drop their pop time, has seen what I do on the internet, and is looking for the opportunity to work with me, now is the time. Go ahead and book a call, and I will reach out to you to see if it's a good fit.